So here we have them both out of the box. The first thing that I want to show is their stand. So each one, Glinda's stand came in this paper bag with all the symbols that we sort of like associate, not just with her, but actually with both of them. So cool. And then there was this cardboard in pink, but the stand itself, it's silvery gray with embedded glitter, and we can see that it says Wicked, and then there's like in between the thigh sort of like stand, which is great for their outfits actually. And then the one for Elphaba came in this paper bag, and then this one is green, which I love. And I really wish we were getting more of these stands with every single release, because seriously these sort of like unify the collection pretty well. And then this is the other part of the stand. And okay, so the thing is, I had already pre-recorded, because I'm just trying, I'm in a time in which I'm trying new things, and one of the new things is like I might transition from just like recording directly like I'm doing right now with the dolls, or just like an off voice added, like a recording added to taped video, so that way I can be in between brackets a little bit more professional in the way that I don't know, my voice and my and the dialogue and everything will be a little bit more structured than, you know, just like a very late at night when I'm normally recording these videos, because I am a very, very busy person, but I really want to dedicate more time to the channel because it's a passion of mine. So anyway, I decided that since I've already watched the movie, I would just record it like so, like for real, like I'm here and I'm not like covering it with another voice recording. So anyway, here we have them both, and after seeing the movie, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but I'm very happy with these two dolls, especially after seeing the movie, because like I was expecting so many more costume changes, and those do not really happen in this part two, or for good second part of Wicked, which is fine. But I was just thinking, what is happening with dolls? Why are not we getting you know, the well, sort of like iconic now, but we don't know where it is. The dress that combines pink and mint for Glinda, that was used in the promotional pictures and stuff like that. And then I actually bought the Treasure Keep musical keepsake, sort of like collectible, that I will be getting very soon, and I will be sharing that, and probably I will be comparing the dolls as well, and then I will make other videos in which I will be comparing with the previous versions and so much more. But the thing is, after I purchased that, which is a very expensive set, but very nice in terms of how they appear in that set, then I watched the movie, and they're not wearing those outfits, they're like those ornamented, if you will, outfits at all. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, I was hoping to see those outfits at the end of the movie when they sing For Good, that I've been changed for the better, and you know, that song. And no, those do not appear. So I really don't know if there was like other scenes that were filmed and then they got rid of them, or probably they didn't make to the final cut. That could well have happened. But anyway, as beautiful as those are, even like the hairstyle for Glinda is different and all that. And when they actually sing that song, they're like wearing, I believe that the budget versions are so much more well adapted than the treasure keepsake. But anyway, having said that, let's review the dolls, and then I will be speaking about my thoughts and feelings about the movie, which are really nice. Like, I love the movie, and I think for me, I don't know why so much criticism, but for me, it's been better than the first one, if I'm completely honest. And I'm a huge fan of the musical that I went to see it, like, I don't know, 4 times. I know it might not be like a lot for a lot of people, but for me, believe me, it is. And so I'm a huge fan of the original musical, and I didn't quite like as much the first Wicked Part 1 compared to this For Good. For Good has been so much better, in my opinion, so much more emotional, um, because it's just all about more complex feelings than the first one, in my opinion. But anyway, so here we have Glinda, and Glinda resembles Ariana Grande very nicely. I mean, I think this might be my preferred and my favorite look for Glinda in the whole collection, if I'm completely honest. Then probably the keepsake treasure musical thing might be my favorite in the way that that is like a perfected, extra ornamented, extra styled doll. But this one actually represents Glinda super well, as it appears in the second part of Wicked. So I'm also actually getting the Glinda the Good Witch doll, that like the collector one, and I will receive that on the 1st of December. For some reason, it's just taking so long, but anyway, I will I will be having her, and I will be comparing it once again. So it has the same sculpt as the first one, and then this time around we have like a translucent crown with matching earrings, and then I feel like the face might be even better than the one that we got the first time around. I don't know, but she's very beautiful. And then there's a new hand mold specifically for her, because here we can see that Elphaba has the old one, for obviously because this is much thicker, like the broom. But the magic wand of Glinda, I think this is a nicer styled hand, and then we have this other one here. She's just looking very delicate and very princess-like in a way. And this dress feels so much better than the first one that we got for her, even though I kind of like really like the draping of the layers and everything, but it felt like a very cheap plastic, which in reality we're having that very same plastic here, and it kind of sounds like the same, but we have 2 other layers that make up for that sort of like cheap feeling plastic. The design is beautiful. I think even though it has printed on details and everything, it couldn't have been done better, unless you're using like, again, it would have been like a super expensive one if you were to use like different fabrics for like this part of like the bodies. Then I actually particularly like the sleeves tool right over here, and that is a long sleeve. I don't know, she just looked very very witchy, very fairy at the same time, like very fairy godmother um in a way. And this is the look that appears for the most part of Wicked for Good. So I was very very happy to find out that. And then she comes with this beautiful saran hair that is wavy and super soft, and it doesn't have any gel whatsoever. So, and then the dress, the skirt part is very very flowy, which is something that I think it was much needed. I don't know about the other one, the one that I'm waiting for to arrive on the 1st, but we'll see. And then it has this outer layer with like this pattern that's been printed on, and it has an iridescent side of it. And then we have okay, so this is like just clear, and then we have this other one that is like a combination of like, actually this organza material, I don't believe this is tulle, I think this is organza, um, has both colors mixed up together. And then we have another layer that is like very Sleeping Beauty, turning pink to blue and stuff, which is underneath. And here it is more obvious how it changes color, because it's basically printed on. But once you put the whole thing, like the three different layers, is a little bit more subtle, and so I very much like that. And then for the shoes this time around, we have well, the classic, let me see what's going on. Okay, but this time the shoes are see-through in a purplish color. Okay, and then if we move to Elphaba, um Elphaba is beautiful. Like, I actually put her in like a ponytail, like so, because I believe that's how it appeared at the beginning of the movie, which is when we're seeing this ensemble. Actually, this is once again happening towards most of the movie as well, like how, the way she's dressed. And then towards the end of the movie, her outfit is reduced to other pieces, but basically it's the same. It's just like a little bit reducing what she's wearing, in my opinion. So she's wearing this coat, which unfortunately is actually connected to the dress, or like, yeah, basically the dress, although it's a skirt underneath, which has like a hint of emerald, very dark green. And then there's like printed on details as well throughout the coat. The coat is beautiful. I mean, the resemblance to Cynthia Erivo is just like that. So yeah, that's something I've always loved from Mattel, to just portray the characters so well. And then the coat is like open a little bit here around the calves, and then obviously we have the hat. And then there is this cape which I thought I would hate, but I don't, because the thing is, I know it's torn, I know it's like distressed, but this is how it appears in the movie. And not only that, but it's like the softest. It is like the softest material compared to like anything else. It's even softer than this one over here, so much more actually. And so, and it creates, depending on how you place it, it creates like a lot of movement. So I actually, even though it's not hemmed or anything, because obviously it's like distressed, like on purpose, it's just incredibly soft. I mean, you just saw that, it's almost like silk. So I love the cape so much. And then this time around, we also got the grimoire, or the grimoire, I think it's called in the movie. And it actually opens in the very same style as the one in the movie would, but obviously there's nothing written on the inside, unless you can read those magical words, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this has been like the overall review. I am very happy with these dolls, and I am very happy with the movie. And you know what? I thought, like, for the first, and here is where I'm going to talk about a little bit about the movie, and about the relationship between Ariana and Cynthia, because it's been heavily criticized, and I find it so horrible, because there's just like pure love what we can find. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, not at all. First of all, the musical was not even written by the author of The Wizard of Oz, so obviously there is a lot of creative liberties there. Same as for like the Oz, the Great and Powerful from Disney, that is like a completely creative story, but it isn't written by the actual The Wizard of Oz author. So this musical is a 90s musical that was all about the relationship between Glinda and the Witch of the West. And okay, and then when I saw the first movie, I found it, as they had to explain why she was like treated so badly and everything. At times it was a bit cheesy, at times it was just happening all too fast. Definitely the beginning of the movie, in my opinion. Um, and that's how I felt it. And it was emotional. Of course, it was very emotional because the friendship was already being cooked in this first part. But in the second part, it just goes beyond anything you can possibly imagine. So you can understand true friendship, love. And I believe that is what both Ariana and Cynthia have felt all together while filming the movie, while promoting it. And so they are truly besties and twinsies and whatever. I mean, they're truly best friends. Like sometimes we don't even have the chance to experience that because that is a very, very special. It's almost like finding your soulmate, but without being in love in terms of romance or sexual attraction or anything like that. It's just like pure love or friendship, and that is what I find. And so I that makes the whole movie and the couple and everything is it's so much more interesting for me. So anyway, those were just my opinions, and I hope you've enjoyed this review and it's been helpful to all of you still considering adding these dolls to your collection. If that is the case, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, I'll be more than happy to get back to all of you. For now, stay safe, and I'll see you back very soon. Bye bye.